Olá amigos do Notícias Agrícolas, estou aqui com o Matt Bennett da Ag Market, que vai falar para a gente um pouquinho sobre o mercado aqui nos Estados Unidos, como é que andam as lavouras de soja e milho aqui e como os produtores devem lidar com as questões do mercado. Tell us about what's your message for U.S. farmers.
Right now, my message for farmers in the U.S. is prices are really good. I know not every producer in the U.S. has a great crop. So as evidenced by the USDA and the Pro Farmer Crop Tour, we know that the crop isn't as good as what we hoped. And so, yeah, some people have a tough crop and they don't have great yields. But the ones that have great yields definitely need to be selling the 22 crop, locking in an income, and then putting themselves in a situation, if they want, they can always do risk management where maybe they buy call options to participate in an upward market. Those who don't have a great crop, it'd be very wise for them to do some sort of a hedging strategy and lock in their losses for crop insurance. So what I think is not necessarily the markets are going to go lower. I just feel like I want to manage risk after you just saw the markets go up 50 cents. So on the 23 crop, I'm strongly recommending the U.S. producer to lock in their fertilizer input prices and to turn around and at the same time sell December 23 corn and lock in the ratio of fertilizer to corn, because it's a good ratio right now, better ratio than what we typically see even with low commodity prices. So those are my two main messages here at the Farm Progress Show.
Do you agree of the numbers of pro farmers?
I think the pro farmer numbers show that the tendency and the trend of this crop is lower. Do I think 168 is the final number? That's a tough call. I think that you're somewhere between 168 and 175, like the USDA said, probably in the low 170s, maybe 170, 171, which is still very tight. And you're in a situation where you're not going to have a robust carryout for the U.S., which is going to be price supported for the time being.
So you show the costs of producing corn and soybeans in the U.S. and compare to Brazil. Brazilian farmers always thinks that U.S. farmers has low cost. That's not true?
No, our cost of production for this year was, and you can convert this to hectares yourself, but for this year, an average producer in the U.S., in many cases, not all, but in many cases, we saw a lot of farmers with $1,000 per acre to put a corn crop out. And so very expensive. Obviously, the cost to rent the land, if you don't own it, very expensive. And so, yes, input costs were quite strong. Whenever you see natural gas prices as high as they've been over the last year, and anhydrous ammonia prices high, and then you see, of course, potash and DAP prices, phosphate prices, they've all been extremely high. So the U.S. producer typically is a very high cost producer and low margin. And the Brazilian producers that I've talked to in the past, I feel like they've been able to operate on a little more margin, but they've got their own fair share of challenges in that some of your inflationary issues, they're hard to navigate. It makes it tougher to hedge at times. I do think if I was a Brazilian producer, I would be very happy though with my situation as far as profit margins are concerned, because I don't think that there's a lot to complain about there.
True. So the major, so you say to American farmers to do more hedge?
Yes, I think we need to do more hedging. The U.S. farmer is, it's an aging population. There is a lot of young farmers trying to come back in, but it's still an aging population. And I think with that aging population, you've probably got the people that are a little more hesitant to hedge their risk and to do risk management strategies, for instance, option strategies, hedging. There's a lot of tools in a toolbox that you can use, but a person has to understand what they are, what they mean, and how they can utilize them.
Sure. Tell us about yourself and the Ag Market.
Yeah, and so my name is Matt Bennett. I own a company with, I've got 3 other partners. So I am a founding partner of Ag Market, which if you look on the internet, it's agmarket.net. We do risk management for producers, consulting, brokerage. We help producers identify how to make the best return on investment for their farms, which is essentially what we're all trying to do. And I try to encourage producers to treat their farms like a business, because it is a business. So most businesses know their cost of production. They know how their sales impact things. They know their profit margins. And I strongly encourage producers in the U.S., and other parts of the world to lock those in and to run their business like a business.
So, but you're a farmer as well.
Yes, I farm too. So I farm in central Illinois, pretty close to where the Farm Progress Show is every other year in Decatur. And so I farm right in the middle of the state.
How is it going?
Good. I think I probably got my best crop ever in 2022 where I farm. So I'm very excited about that. And I would say that could be our highest income year too, because I've got a lot of corn hedged over $7.
Soybean or just corn?
Both. Corn and beans and cattle.
Half?
About half and half.